Hey guys, it's Anti-Swipe here. Wanted to bring you a video on the farming strategy I've used with my build. I'm running Righteous Fire. If you haven't seen that video, I will link that down in the description as well. But wanted to shout out Travic. I'll put also his farming strat video down in the description for Blight. That has been the very beginning of my farming. Once I hit enough maps, I went almost fully Blight. I was running maps so that with blight chance so that I could drop blighted maps and then use those blighted maps to get more currency and then rinse and repeat. So if you don't want to get your own blighted maps from your regular maps, you can go and buy those blighted maps, which is, I believe, what Travic discusses in his video. But if you do want to self-farm, there are a bunch of options for idols. There's increased chance to drop blighted maps from reward chest, which I believe is here. Blight chests in your maps have 24% more chance to contain blighted maps. This comes in pretty clutch. And then the second one is lanes of blight encounters in your maps have 7% chance for an additional reward chest. And you, as far as I know, you can stack these and it works. Now there is an optional option, which is you can go for increased blight chance, which I believe is on. No, this is for blighted chest. This right here, maps have 16% increased or 16% chance to contain a blight encounter. That makes it to where you don't have to use a scarab to force blight on your map. This improves your just your overall less currency required, right, in your maps. So in a blight map, I wanted to bring up a couple things. I will have a clip, if it hasn't already been shown. I will have a clip of blight, a blight run, so you can see how I go through this. But I want to talk through it first. So first, I check to see if there are any resistances to the fist tower. If not, or they are very few, think 2 to 3. I build those and empowering towers nearby them to buff them up. Now, what I do is I do not upgrade those 2 towers beyond level 3 because the fist towers stun enemies, and if you upgrade them to level 4, it will either slow them down considerably, which is the time bubble one, or it will petrify a mob, which some may argue and say that that's better, but I don't do it, and I'm able to perma-stun bosses on the lane as long as 2 different empowered fist towers hit a mob that is not resistant to the fist icon, right? Now, if I find out that there are a lot of fist resistances, then I check for minion tower resistances. If they don't have that, then I do the same strategy as the fist towers, where I also place down empowering towers next to them, so that those minion towers are buffed. Now, one thing to note about these is I do upgrade these to level 4, and I try to do so as soon as possible. I use the bat wing looking icon. That improves gives you mobs from that tower that shoot at a distance. Now, if both fist and minion resistances are high, I then choose which is the lowest amount of resistances between lightning, cold, and fire. I build those to tier 4, and I make different choices on which ones I build just based on what I feel might be good. You can test it yourself, figure out what's the best strategy. If you actually have a very good strategy, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Please let me know. Now, this was the strategy I used when I first got into maps, or when I was in about yellow tier maps, because I had kind of run out of currency, as well as I've kind of had some bad map sustain. So then I moved over to, I was doing this, and now what I'm doing is a Harbinger and Beyond strategy, which I will show right here. So this strategy is exactly what my build loves. Righteous Fire, explode with ignite proliferation. That means that whenever a monster explodes and deals fire damage, which in my case I'm giving my chaos damage explodes from my ascendancy ignite chance 68%, and so whenever those explodes happen, they have a high chance to ignite, and once they ignite, those ignites proliferate due to the ignite spread on my gloves. You can see here as the second implicit in this list. Now, the mobs, so because I'm doing Harbinger, I'm also doing Beyond, which is whenever monsters die close together, they have a chance to spawn Beyond mobs, which then are hit with those Ignite Prolif circles, and therefore they die, which increases my loot or increases the amount of mobs killed, and then rinse repeat from Harbinger to Beyond. Now, I want to describe the idle modifiers I'm using. These are, I don't know if they're 100% the absolute best you can get, but these are the ones that I've been able to acquire on my own, which has been very, very helpful to me. I've been able to get, I think, 15 Harbingers in the map, including all the scarabs. And all of them are bosses, right? And so show up into a room, blow up 1 or 2 mobs, they proliferate, kill all the rest of the mobs, and then the Harby spawn more mobs, right? And so then those mobs die because of the ignite proliferation. Very, very fun strat. 10 out of 10 fun. So for the Harbinger, what I recommend, like I said before, I recommend that you make sure that you get 100% chance for Harbingers in your maps to be replaced by a powerful Harbinger boss. That is the second mod you can see on this idol. I have 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the 4 of these make up 100%, which means I can use a different scarab. If you don't have 25% times 4, or you have less than 100%, the strategy is to then go into your use a separate scarab, which is Scarab of Regency. This increases the chance by 50%, and so you get 50% on your idols and 50% on this scarab, and so therefore you reach the 100% cap. Now, another one I have is increased Harbingers, an amount of additional Harbingers. I use this Conquer idol. There is an argument to be said about replacing maybe these 2 with a Conquer idol, and then moving these two ones down here with another, and then have another Conquer idol that gives 2. I haven't tried that yet. It is something I'm thinking about. I think these idols are pretty expensive. Well, 60 to 80 chaos just for that one modifier. So I'll worry about that later. I actually just recently found out that you can gamble for Conqueror idols. I completely forgot about that in the announcement video, so I will likely have a much more robust Harbinger idol setup in the future for my farming. Now, the other one is making sure that you get what is it? Additional chance for, or have chance to drop additional stack of currency shards. This is important because it increases the likelihood that whenever your Beyond or your Harbinger dies, that it just blows up the screen with currency shards. Very, very fun, because then it's like, oh man, now I'm in a loot simulator. Let me just click a bunch of shards, and so I think most maps I come out with like 19, 20, maybe even 25 or even 30 chaos, like sometimes as much as like 8 or 10 annulment orbs, 4 or 5 ancient orbs, and all that racks up, right? I have a few times where I had so many mobs that the increased density increased my chances to get divines, and so I had a couple of maps that were just a straight divine, right, would drop, which is great. So yeah, so those are the Harbinger ones. Oh, another one is Harbinger cooldown recovery rate. So I don't have a lot of this. I had a lot more of this before, but then I opted into doing more Harbingers, and the Harbinger chance to have a Harbinger be replaced by a Harbinger boss. I may go back to increasing this. I still have some more testing to do, but this has been good enough, right? Like they spawn mobs fairly quickly. So let's move on to Beyond. So I have Endless Tide, and I'll describe what this does. So for those of you who haven't played prior to Legacy of Phrecia, this used to be in the Atlas passives, this used to be a keystone, which basically is that you don't spawn a unique boss and you have less merging radius. This is almost identical, if not identical, to that node. And so this is important because the way that Beyond works is when you kill enough Beyond mobs, they have a chance to spawn a boss. And once a Beyond boss spawns and you kill it, not even when you kill it, just when it spawns, there is no more chance for Beyond monsters to spawn beyond that. So what I'm using is I'm including this unique idol so that Beyond mobs continue to spawn throughout my entire map. This gives us 40% less merging radius, which is a problem. Or not a problem, but it is something we need to overcome. So in order to mitigate this, I'm trying to go for increased merging radius. We won't be able to recoup 100% of that 40% less, but we will be able to recoup some of it, which just, if you don't know, increased merging radius for Beyond portals means higher chance for Beyond monsters to spawn when you kill basically fewer monsters would equal spawning a Beyond mob than more monsters without merging radius, right? Hope that makes sense. If not, ask questions in the comments. So for my scarabs, I'm using 4 Harbinger scarabs, which gives 3 additional Harbingers, which is equal to 12 additional Harbingers, and the Scarab of Warhordes, which duplicates the currency shards that you receive from a Harby boss dying. And for the map device, I am forcing Beyond. There is something to be said about forcing Beyond from your idols, but I don't have those idols in my inventory, and I'm half going into most of my idol setups as the ones that I found myself. And so that this is what I use. Now, there is another idol that I haven't talked about yet, which is Wrath of the Cosmos. Because my build thrives on having more mobs in the vicinity, I use Searing Exarch influence to spawn not only more Searing Exarch mobs, but also have the chance to spawn the Searing Exarch altars. They have better downsides for my build than Eater of Worlds. So Searing Exarch, kill a bunch of mobs, spawn those altars, and then just get more and more loot. All right, and that's about it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and comment on the video and subscribe if you can. We are very close to getting to our 500 subscriber count so we can monetize the channel. I really appreciate it if you could. If not, no worries. I look forward to hearing all the comments hearing all the questions or the comments that you make in the video, so we can I can find other strategies that might be working for this build, right? If you have a strategy that you're using, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, so I can, switch it up, maybe get some more currency, right? Because right now, because the league has been extended to 2 months, I will be playing Legacy of Phrecia until Path of Exile 2, the next update for Path of Exile 2 comes out, and I may continue playing this, or I will swap over. More than likely, I will swap over to Path of Exile 2 and make content there because it's new content. Anyway, thank you for hanging out. It's been a pleasure. Have a great day. Take care.